Hello friends, welcome back to Snapbook. Today we shall talk about one of the most powerful book, The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. People constantly try to influence us, but we often resist their attempts. But there are moments, however, when we are in love. We fall under a kind of spell. We grow emotional, lose the ability to think straight, act in foolish ways, and eventually surrender to the will of the loved one, and are captivated by our extreme desire to possess them. This is seduction. Seducers. Seducers are people who understand the tremendous power contained in such weak moments of surrender. They analyze the people in love, the psychological aspect that ignites imagination and casts spell on them. All great seducers know it is much more effective to create love than lust. A person in love is emotional, pliable, and easily misled. A person in lust is harder to control and, once satisfied, may easily leave. Seducers take their time, create enchantment and the bonds of love, so they enslaves the victim. Creating love and enchantment becomes the model for all seductions, social, political. A person in love will surrender no matter what. Power of seduction. The power of seduction is irresistible. The harder you try to resist the lure of seduction, the more you will find yourself fascinated. The power of seducing someone can be intoxicating, and gives the seducer a sense of confidence and great power. And the ability to seduce is the most powerful tool in the modern world. We may also experience this in a social or work setting. On a day we are in an elevated mood and people seem more responsive, more charmed by us. To have such power does not require any kind of physical improvement in your looks. Seduction is a game of psychology, not beauty, and it is within the grasp of any person to become a master at the game. All that is required is that you look at the world differently, through the eyes of a seducer. When they meet someone, their first move is to get inside that person's skin, to see the world seduced through their eyes. Getting into someone's skin, imagining what it is like to be them, helps the seducer gather valuable information, learn what makes that person tick, what will make them lose their ability to think straight and fall into a trap. Seducers see themselves as providers of pleasure when people often have feelings of being cut off from happiness or being weighed down by responsibilities. A seducer enters their lives offering adventure and romance and is irresistible. The art of seduction is designed to arm you with weapons of persuasion and charm, so that those around you will slowly lose their ability to resist without knowing how or why it has happened. The two elements of seduction. Every seduction has two elements that you must analyze and understand. First, yourself and what is seductive about you. And second, your target and the actions that will penetrate their defenses and create surrender. Therefore, both aspects are crucial in effective seduction strategies, as failure in any one shall lead you to be a mechanical and manipulative seducer. Consequently, the art of seduction is divided into two parts. The first half, the seductive character, describes the 9 types of seducer. Studying these types will make you aware of what is inherently seductive in your character, the basic building block of any seduction. The second half, the seductive process, includes the 24 maneuvers and strategies that will instruct you on how to create a spell, break down people's resistance, give movement and force to your seduction, and induce surrender in your target. Entering the pages of book, let yourself be captivated by the ideas. Open your mind and let your thoughts flow. Slowly, you'll absorb the poison through your skin, viewing everything as a seduction, including your thoughts and worldview. Before moving further, if you like this video so far, please like and subscribe this channel and do not forget to share with friends and people who feel the same. Section 1. The seductive character. Seduction, often encased in the charm of romantic endeavors, goes far beyond sex. It's an art form practiced not only in personal relationships but also in business, politics, and everyday social interactions. A politician weaving words to win your vote, or a business leader who captivates an entire boardroom with a vision, are the subtle threads of seduction at work. It works on the principles of attraction, persuasion, and influence, aiming not just to charm but to strategically sway others' perceptions and actions. At its core, seduction is about understanding and navigating human emotions and desires. It's the skill of making oneself so compelling that others are naturally drawn to you. Whether it's in a negotiation, at a networking event, or during a casual conversation, Mastering this art can open doors and create opportunities in various facets of life. So, seduction isn't just about romance. It's about strategic social influence. In his book, The Art of Seduction, Robert Greene explores the complex interplay of attraction and psychology. He argues that seduction is a nuanced art form that can be mastered by anybody who is prepared to embrace its principles. The human psychology is to be persevere, stubborn creatures who will rarely do anything asked for. And if anyone forces them, they resist. Greene says the best way to bypass their natural resistance is to hit at their weakest spot, what they can least control, their desire for pleasure. Stir such desires, pleasantly confuse and lead them astray. Inflame them and they will succumb to your will. The evidence lies in history, Cleopatra's presence, Casanova's legendary charisma, John F. Kennedy mesmerizing leadership, and Marilyn Monroe's seductive appeal. All left an indelible mark on the world. 9 types of seducers. Successful seductions begin with your character, your ability to radiate some quality that attracts people and stirs their emotions in a way that is beyond their control. There are 9 seducer types in the world. Each has a particular character trait that comes from deep within and creates a seductive pull. Imagine the perfect seducer. What qualities do they possess? Picture someone who doesn't just walk into a room, but owns it. This is a person brimming with confidence, someone whose self-assurance is almost tangible. But it's not just about having confidence. It's about wielding it skillfully with profound understanding of emotional intelligence. Let's meet the first type. The siren is the most ancient seductress. Sirens, with their hypnotic beauty, have an abundance of highly feminine and sexual energy and know how to use it. The siren, often a woman of exceptional beauty and allure, captivates with her ethereal presence, drawing victims into her web of desire. Her power lies in her ability to create an almost otherworldly aura, making those around her feel as if they are in the presence of something truly special, something rare and unattainable. The charm of Cleopatra's presence and the attraction in her as person and her talk pervaded her every action and almost cast a spell on anyone associated with her. Next, the rake. Rakes insatiably adore the opposite sex, and their desire is infectious. The rake is a master of charm and wordplay, using wit and charisma to disarm and charm their targets. The rake is a great female fantasy figure. His allure is in his ability to make others feel seen and appreciated, to make them laugh and feel at ease. Words are a woman's weakness, and rake is a master of seductive language. The rake's charm is a powerful tool, capable of breaking down barriers and creating a sense of intimacy and connection. The legend of Don Juan reveals he was a sensuous seducer who desired in every woman the whole of the womanhood. Perfect rake seducer. Then there are ideal lovers. Ideal lovers have an aesthetic sensibility that they apply to romance. Ideal lovers thrive on people's broken dreams and their ultimate fantasies for romance or adventure. The ideal lovers are the perfect mirror, reflecting back the deepest desires and dreams of those they seek to seduce. The ideal lover's power lies in their ability to make others feel understood and valued, to create a sense of deep emotional connection and intimacy. Consider the friend who always knows how to make you feel heard, or the partner who anticipates your needs before you even voice them. Next, we have the dandy. Dandies like to play with their image, creating a striking and androgynous allure. They cultivate elegance, style, and a sense of mystery. They excite us because they hint at a freedom we want for ourselves. They play with masculinity and femininity. They are mysterious and elusive. Dandies fascinate and seduce in large numbers. We meet the natural. Naturals are spontaneous and open. They use authenticity and spontaneity to disarm defenses. The natural embodies the longed-for qualities of childhood, unpretentiousness, sincerity. In the presence of naturals, we feel at ease, caught up in their playful spirit, get transported back to that golden age. Naturals make a virtue out of weakness, eliciting our sympathy for their trials, making us want to protect them. It is a conscious, seductive maneuver. Imagine a man may meet a woman and he is shocked by her ugliness. Soon, if she is natural and unaffected, her expressions makes him overlook the fault of her features. He begins to find her charming. It enters his head that she might be weak and loved. Next, the coquette. Coquette are self-sufficient with a fascinating cool at their core, orchestrating a back-and-forth movement between hope and frustration. They playfully withhold attention to create desire. The coquette will lure you in with warmth and attention, only to retreat mysteriously, leaving a trail of confusion and desire. This push and pull strategy makes the target feel a desperate need to regain the coquette's attention. It seems like you want to conquer them, but they hold the cards. Then we have the charismatic. Charismatics have unusual inner quality self-confidence, sexual energy, sense of purpose, contentment that most people lack in them. Charismatics are compelling. They have an intense emotional impact on others, often inspiring trust and devotion. Their strategy includes a potent mix of confidence, self-belief, and a hint of danger, making people believe they are gods, saints, and stars. It's this aura of excitement around them that draws people in. They heighten their charisma with a piercing gaze, fiery oratory, an air of mystery. Charismatics are often leaders, able to move and influence the masses. Another type is the charmer. Charm is a seduction without sex. The charmers want and know how to please. They are social creatures. Charmers are consummate manipulators, masking their cleverness by creating a mood of pleasure and comfort. They make you feel that they understand your spirit, feel your pain, adapt to your moods. You may observe in your day-to-day life. The charmer around you could be a friend, relative, or your lover. And finally, the star. Stars are ethereal and envelop themselves in mystery. They feed on the weakness of common man to escape reality and live in fantasy. They create an aura of celebrity and fascination. At the same time, they are vague and ethereal, keeping their distance and letting us imagine more than is there. Their dreamlike quality works on us unconsciously. We are not even aware how much we imitate them. The Hollywood and Bollywood actors are perfect star seducers. Whether it's the charmer's soothing words, the coquette's tantalizing distance, or the charismatic's captivating leadership, these strategies reveal the complex artistry of seduction. By knowing which archetype you naturally align with, you can play to your strengths and develop a seductive style that feels authentic and powerful. Cultivating your seductive style. Understanding your own seductive archetype is crucial. It allows you to leverage your strengths, mitigate your weaknesses, and tailor your approach to maximize your seductive impact. By recognizing the patterns and tendencies that define your seductive style, you can refine your approach and become a more effective and conscious seducer. Self-awareness. It begins with self-awareness. Knowing oneself, one's strengths, and weaknesses is the first step. It's about building confidence from the inside out, and then practicing how to convey this confidence without arrogance. Emotional intelligence. Another critical trait is a profound understanding of emotional intelligence. A successful seducer can read a room, understand what others are feeling, and respond in a way that seems almost tailor-made for each individual. This isn't about manipulation. It's about connection. Emotional connection is a crucial component of seduction. By creating a sense of intimacy and understanding, you can build a strong foundation for attraction. This emotional connection allows you to create a deeper and more meaningful bond with those you seek to seduce, making your efforts more effective and impactful. Empathy. Another vital aspect is empathy. Developing a genuine interest in other people's experiences and emotions can significantly enhance one's seductive prowess. It's about listening more than speaking, understanding before responding. Adaptability. It is an essential skill in the art of seduction. The ability to adjust one's approach depending on the situation and the person you're interacting with is what sets a master seducer apart from the crowd. Building these traits isn't just about seducing others. It's about enhancing your personal charisma. Body language is another powerful tool in the art of seduction. By using subtle gestures and movements, you can communicate your interest and attraction without saying a word. This nonverbal communication can be incredibly effective in creating a sense of intrigue and desire, drawing others in and making them want to know more about you. Playful banter and flirtation. By engaging in lighthearted and playful conversation, you can create a sense of fun and excitement, making others feel at ease and more open to your advances. Building rapport. By creating a sense of trust and understanding, you can make others feel comfortable and open to your advances. And finally, romantic gestures can also play a significant role in seduction. By showing your affection and appreciation through thoughtful and meaningful actions, you can create a sense of romance and desire. Therefore, reflecting on your seductive style and refining your approach is crucial to becoming a more effective seducer. Section 2. The seductive process. Our attempts of seduction usually do not last long enough to create much of an effect. It is because we become self-absorbed over the time. Seduction is a process that occurs over time. The longer you take and the slower you go, the deeper you will penetrate in the mind of your victim. The 24 strategies in this section will arm you with a series of tactics that will help you get out of yourself and into the mind of your victim. We can discuss these in 4 phases. Let's journey through the captivating stages of seduction. 4 phases of seduction. Phase 1. Attraction. The first phase is attraction. Here, the groundwork is laid. Attraction isn't merely about physical appeal. It encompasses an intellectual, emotional, or spiritual pull. It's about creating a magnetic presence that draws others in. This might involve highlighting your unique qualities, displaying confidence, or simply showing genuine interest in the person you wish to seduce. It's the spark that ignites curiosity and interest. It involves a blend of mystery, charm, and subtle flattery. The seducer must present themselves as an object of desire, creating an aura that draws others in. Think of it as the artful construction of a magnetic persona that is both intriguing and inviting. Phase 2. Confusion. Once attraction has been firmly established, the second phase, confusion, comes into play. This phase is critical in deepening the emotional bond. The seducer begins to send mixed signals, blending hot and cold behaviors. This might sound counterintuitive, but a touch of mystery can intensify attraction. By being unpredictable, you keep the target of your seduction guessing about your intentions and feelings. This unpredictability stirs a sense of intrigue and longing in the target. They begin to think more frequently about the seducer, trying to decode their actions and intentions. This uncertainty can heighten interest, making the person more eager to think about and interact with you. It's not about deception or manipulation. Rather, it's about adding depth and complexity to your character. Here, the emotional seesaw creates a thrilling, sort of psychological dance that can be almost intoxicating. Phase 3. Submission. As the target becomes more emotionally invested, we transition into the third phase. Submission. This phase amplifies the emotional connection, turning initial intrigue into a deeper desire. In this stage, the balance of power starts to shift more noticeably. The target, now emotionally entangled and intrigued, becomes more receptive to the seducer's influence. Here, you as seducer, intensify interactions, perhaps by sharing exhilarating experiences or revealing more about your passions and dreams. Excitement is about creating moments that are memorable and heart-pounding, which bond you even closer to the person you're seducing. Submission by target at this stage doesn't necessarily mean weakness. It's about a willing surrender to the burgeoning connection, often accompanied by a desire to please or align with the seducer. The seducer, in turn, must be careful to maintain respect and admiration, nurturing the connection with care and attention. Phase 4. Culmination. Finally, conquest marks the culmination of the seductive process. This is the peak of the seductive process, where emotional and psychological investments pay off. This phase is not about victory in a traditional sense, but achieving a deep and mutual connection. It's the point where the seducer and the target are no longer separate entities in a game, but partners in a dance of intimacy and mutual satisfaction. Culmination is about sealing the connection, making it clear that the journey you've been on together has led to a meaningful conclusion. Whether it's a romantic commitment, a deepened friendship, or a successful collaboration, this phase is about solidifying the bond that has been carefully built. The conquest, thus, is about achieving a profound influence and bond, a point where resistance gives way to unity. Key seductive strategies. Strategy is the backbone of any conquest, and seduction is no exception. As we enter the art of seduction, It's essential to understand that seductive strategies are not just about romantic entanglements, but are applicable in a variety of interpersonal interactions. One intriguing strategy is send mixed signals. This approach involves creating an aura of mystery and unpredictability around yourself. Imagine someone who is at once approachable, yet slightly elusive, warm yet cool, making others perpetually intrigued and drawn towards uncovering the layers. This tactic keeps people guessing, heightening their interest and engagement as they never quite know what to expect next. Next, let's explore enter their spirit. Another compelling strategy is poeticize your presence. This involves elevating your persona to become almost mythical in the eyes of others. It's about crafting memorable moments that leave a lasting impression, making your interactions not just meetings but experiences. Whether it's through your words, actions, or mere presence, make each encounter an artful expression that captivates and enchants. Lastly, we have lead them astray. This is about introducing elements of adventure and uncertainty into routine interactions. It's about challenging norms and encouraging others to step out of their comfort zones with you as their guide. This strategy not only makes life more exhilarating but also cements your role as the charismatic leader in the eyes of others. Psychological tactics in seduction. Why do psychological tactics play a critical role in seduction? This question invites us to discuss the subtle art of influence and allure, not just in romantic endeavors but across a spectrum of human interactions. At the core of seduction is the understanding of human psychology. One of the most fascinating aspects involves mirror neurons. These are the parts of our brains that fire not only when we perform an action but also when we observe someone else performing that same action. This mirroring effect can create a powerful, subconscious sense of empathy and connection. For example, if you display a warm, confident smile, it's likely to be mirrored and reciprocated, enhancing the emotional bond between you and others. Another psychological strategy is emotional contagion. This phenomenon occurs when one person's feelings trigger similar emotions in others around them. It's why laughter can be so infectious, or why a tense room can make you feel uneasy. In the context of seduction, harnessing emotional contagion means being attuned to the mood of your interaction partner, elevating their spirits if needed, or calming their anxieties, thereby drawing them closer into your emotional orbit. Then there's the scarcity principle, a tactic well known in both marketing and personal relationships. It revolves around the idea that people tend to desire what is less available. By presenting yourself or your time as a scarce resource, you naturally increase your perceived value. It's not about playing hard to get, but rather about showing that your presence and attention are precious and worth pursuing. Using these psychological tactics in seduction requires a deep understanding of social dynamics and ethical responsibility. They should not be employed to manipulate, but rather to foster genuine connections and enrich interactions. Whether you're looking to improve your personal relationships, enhance your charisma in professional settings, or simply understand the dynamics of human behavior, these strategies can provide powerful tools. Using these tactics wisely can lead to more meaningful and influential connections. Phase 5: Dangers of seduction. But can seduction go too far? While seduction can be seen as an art form, it's essential to recognize its potentially darker sides. When wielded carelessly, the tools of seduction can lead to manipulation and exploitation, blurring the lines between charm and harm. Seduction thrives on attraction and influence, yet it's crucial to ensure that these interactions are based on mutual respect and clear consent. The absence of these elements can transform seduction into coercion, stripping away the ethical foundation it might otherwise have. Furthermore, the pursuit of seduction without considering the emotional and psychological impact on others can lead to transient relationships built on fragile foundations. Dark side of seduction. While seduction can be seen as an art form, it's essential to recognize its potentially darker sides. Seduction, when misused, can transform from a mutual exchange of allure into a deceptive game, where one person holds disproportionate power over another. The tools of seduction can lead to manipulation and exploitation, blurring the lines between charm and harm. Furthermore, the pursuit of seduction without considering the emotional and psychological impact on others can lead to transient relationships built on fragile foundations. This approach not only damages trust but can also leave lasting scars on the individuals involved. It's therefore paramount that seduction be practiced with a conscious awareness of its effects. One must understand the dangers of manipulation and the importance of ethical seduction. Seduction, in its purest form, is about creating genuine connections and fostering mutual desire. However, in wrong hands, seduction can be used to alter someone's behavior for personal gain. Disregarding their feelings or consent, these tactics can be twisted into tools of manipulation and deceit. By prioritizing consent and mutual benefit, seduction can remain within the realm of respectful and enriching interaction. Seduction, when practiced with integrity, respects everyone's autonomy and dignity. Seduction thrives on attraction and influence, yet it's crucial to ensure that these interactions are based on mutual respect and clear consent. The absence of these elements can transform seduction into coercion, stripping away the ethical foundation it might otherwise have. Greene emphasizes the importance of ethical considerations throughout the book, reminding readers that true seduction should never come at the expense of another person's well-being. It's about empowering both parties involved, fostering connections built on mutual respect and genuine desire. Concluding thoughts. Now that you've glimpsed into the intricate world of seduction, let's recap the highlights. Seduction isn't merely about romance. It's a broad, strategic art. We began by exploring the various types of seducers, each with their own unique flavor of allure. From the charismatic to the mysterious, understanding these archetypes helps in navigating complex social terrains. We uncovered the 4 critical phases of seduction, each essential in weaving that magnetic allure. We also discovered into the psychological maneuvers that captivate and influence. And importantly, we considered the ethical boundaries that should guide every seductive encounter. Embrace the art of seduction to enrich your connections and navigate the social world more effectively.